Hello, loyal comic book readers, and welcome to another episode of Off the Rack. I'm Sal.
And I'm Tiffany.
This is a live comic book review show where we take comic books in the past week, and we talk about them and recommend comics that are coming out this week that we think you should check out. Very excited. We talk about the news and reviews here in the comic book world. There's a lot of stuff happening in the comic book world, and you may not have even heard about it, but I bet you have, honestly.
Do you mean me?
Yeah.
Oh, specifically?
Well, I was going to say the generic everyone, but no, you're right. I mean, I'm sure you have not heard of these things specifically.
Well, tell me about them.
Well, I am excited to talk about them. For one thing, there were a couple of rumors out there regarding the one Jason Aaron, who was going to jump ship over to IDW to write the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
And it turns out that's true. He is definitely writing for the Ninja Turtles. Okay. And that'll be a seminal beginning for the Turtles. And the next question people had was, who is going to draw the Turtles? And actually, IGN had the exclusive where they broke the news that the first 4 issues of the new run, or the relaunch, not reboot, relaunch of the Turtles title will feature or focus on one turtle.
Oh.
Makes sense to me.
Okay.
But each turtle is getting their own artist. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
So the first issue is going to have Jason Aaron writing the Raphael issue with Joel Jones doing the art.
That's like cool.
Yeah.
And I'm also a little worried.
You're worried?
Yeah.
It's only one issue.
Oh, it's only the one.
Okay,
I
okay.
thought it was 4 issues.
No. Okay.
And
to clarify,
yeah,
your concern is not, oh no, Joel Jones is not a good fit for the Turtles. Your concern is, oh no, they probably wouldn't be able to handle more than 2 issues in a row. Well, it's only one issue.
Okay, then yeah.
So that and then I assume the issue is finished, so it's even more exciting.
Great.
The second issue, Michelangelo, Raphael Albuquerque.
Okay.
Right?
That's kind of fun.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. That's really exciting. The third issue is Leonardo with Cliff Chong.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I love Cliff Chong's art. And that's not to say I don't love everyone's art. Every artist on this, not only have I heard of them, but I like them. It's not just one of those things where I'm like, oh, it's them.
That's that name
Good for them. No, I really want to see that stuff. And then finally, number 4, finishing off strong with the best for last, we have Donatello with Chris Burnham. Now, more recently, you've seen his work on the Unstoppable Doom Patrol.
Thank you.
But yeah,
where I know them from.
And Chris Burnham, I think, is out of all of them, the best pick for like a Turtles book. Like, I feel like he really lends his style to the Turtles. So I'm excited.
You like it because it looks like the original Turtles. It's a little more like it.
Yeah,
I like Joel Jones.
I mean, the Joel Jones thing is going to be fun.
And she's doing my favorite.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people's favorite is Raphael.
Yeah.
That's fair. But yeah.
I don't think so. Every time we say that, it's
true.
Like we're wrong.
Yeah, well, then the vocal minority comes out. But let me tell you something. Every damn movie is about Raphael, except for the last one, which is really about nobody.
Good taste.
I listen, I love Raphael. I loved his journey, and I'm a fan. But
yeah, I'm a fan too.
I didn't feel the kinship with him. I didn't feel the rage.
I do. And my love for him just keeps growing every day.
Yeah, that's fair. So yeah, I'm hyped for this. This is a great start. Good job, IDW, for getting top tier talent.
Yeah,
that seems to be like the thing nowadays. Is like, oh, when I want to make a big splash and I want to get people's attention with something that may be a hard sell for new readers or for readers overall, why don't I get some of the biggest names in comics?
Oh, you could do that.
Yeah, as it turns out, you can do that. Because they're all work for hire.
Yeah,
these talented bastards.
Excellent.
And ladies. But yeah, I'm excited. Ninja Turtles, way to go, IDW. Jason Aaron writing all 4, so there'll be consistency across, but you'll get very, very distinct different art for each issue before it rolls into the ongoing series.
That's great.
Yeah, sweet. Good job. Sounds fun.
Agreed.
I'm hyped.
Yeah. But you said there was more than that. Is there more news?
I mean, there's all kinds of news. There's rumor and so forth. I mean, Rob Liefeld went on his podcast and he talked about how there might be a Ultimate DC Universe coming out. I wanted to talk about it for a second. We did actually cover it on the last episode, but I wanted to know, what do you think about that idea?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That the idea of them doing an Ultimate.
Yeah, like if DC were to do an Ultimate
I mean, I
Universe.
think we've pitched that before.
We definitely
in
have
the
pitched that
past. Like
before.
we said, like I think it's a good idea. So
Yeah.
like I think it's a good idea.
I think it's a great idea. Yeah.
I don't know what sort of narrator Rob is. Is he a reliable or unreliable narrator? I don't know.
Yes.
Do you trust it all? Do you trust part of it? Do you trust none of it? I don't know. I do think it's a fun idea. I think it's interesting timing for their like the seemingly successful so far launch of Hickman's Ultimate Universe.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
You know, so
I'm sure the DC will call it something else if it's true and it's real.
Listen, I have a feeling they'd have to.
You'd have to. You can't. You can't.
Yeah,
and I think they know that.
Regardless, like I think it's a cool idea, and I would like to see it happen. I think that would be fun. You know, it's funny with DC. It's like they've had a lot of imprints. Both companies. It's not just DC.
It's true.
It's not just
DC.
But
DC has
both
more
companies have had
successful,
imprints,
recognizable imprints.
Yeah, and they've gotten rid of them, bring them back, whatever. It was like Vertigo. No, that's gone. Elseworlds. No, that's gone. But now it's back.
Yeah.
Ish.
Well, supposedly, like the rumor is that both Elseworlds and Vertigo are coming back.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen page 1 of either of those things.
Right. But it's like, if you did something like that, it wouldn't necessarily even be an Elseworld. So you could still have that running side by side.
Totally.
And it just, there's so many, there's such a, I don't know, there's just such a weird balance. And I know why. I know you don't have to explain to me why it is like that within DC as to like where the like quantity of books are. It's like there's a lot of books under the Bat titles. You know what I mean? Typically, right? Or Bat ancillary characters. And I feel like an Ultimate Universe gives an opportunity to try something different and also not make it completely Bat-centric. Like,
absolutely.
I'm sure a Bat thing would be involved. You would.
If I were launching an Ultimate DC Universe, probably the first thing I would do, much like the Marvel Ultimate Universe. You launch it with Spider-Man, you launch it with Batman.
Yeah. So it's like like it's just a nice opportunity to like highlight other characters and to it's a careful like line to walk, right? What works in the Ultimate Universe is your knowledge, like from Marvel's side, is your knowledge of the character, and then where they stray.
Right, like this is different, and I know that because I read the regular universe.
Right. So it's like I don't envy that sort of tightrope to walk, where it's like you're like, oh, I need to make it comfortable enough, but not too comfortable, and I feel like that would be even more difficult over there. They're just so they've been rebooted, they've been this, so there's so many takes at this point. So it's like, how do you make something new?
Well, we're already in the dawn of the DC universe, which is, I think, a rousing success.
Right.
It's responding. Or at least the audience is responding. New and old readers are involved. So it's like, what does an Ultimate Universe say?
Right.
Does it say that the thing that you've been doing is not successful? Or is that what that's going to be interpreted as? I say no. I think that it's just like it's all green. If I were launching a new Ultimate Universe, I would actually try to make it as drastically different as humanly possible.
Oh, sure. No, that makes sense. I mean, especially if you're leaving everything else running, you're not. You're not like Heroes Reborning them,
right? Or New 52ing them,
right? Where it's like, no, it's all this and that's it, rah.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because it's an opportunity to jump on, to something that maybe you're less familiar with.
I think it's a great opportunity
if that's how. Again, this is
if they're doing.
If they were doing it, I'm in my pitch, so it's not even has nothing to do with that. No. In my pitch, it really relies on you going the route of like using the pop culture's base knowledge of the character and then completely
and then
going
the
from that so that people who are new to the character are like, okay, I know enough about this to understand what's going on.
I think I've heard of this Bat character. I think I'm aware of what his name is, and then you go completely off book. I mean, people are asking for that forever. They're like, hey, be different, do something that changes the whole apple cart. But we wanted to say this show is sponsored by you. If you're watching the show live, you can sponsor today's show by using Super Chats. Ask a question or comment, we'll read it here on the show. And you'll be part of the show forever, like these fine people before we get into the comic books. Arduit, who says, ComicPop woo to you as well. Support for top creators and people. Have an amazing week, y'all. Yeah, right? I know.
Thank you.
Hulkzilla, thanks for your support. I enjoyed your latest Good, Bad, and Ugly. That's right.
Thank you.
The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, a show that is exclusive on this channel, has returned, and it's here. We did first issues of Deadpool, the first 3 issues of any Deadpool series. We compared them all. They're here on the show. Watch it.
Here on this channel.
Yeah, that's right. On this channel. That's right. This is the show. I've been watching other GBUs you guys made. Best wishes to you guys as always. Well, thank you very much. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Rami Darwish says, happy Monday, guys. Yeah, Monday. Woohoo. Wasn't Earth 1 DC's attempt at creating an Ultimate Universe? It was a little bit of both, I would say, because I always maintained that Earth 1 is the Ultimate DC Universe. But I also know that DC completely rejected that concept and threw it completely out the window. And there was a number of reasons for that. The first of which is that Earth 1 was an attempt to do kind of like contemporary, fresh, original takes on these classic characters or teams in the case of Earth 1 Teen Titans. That said, they also tried to use it as an effort to push original graphic novels or rather hardcovers. And so I think that's what bit them in the ass. It was like, instead of it being an ongoing series, instead of it being a mini series, instead of it getting into floppies, it was, here is the volume.
Right.
And it's out and that's it. I love that. And I want to support that idea, but I think that's why it didn't actually expand into a kind of cohesive universe. The thing was, it was a lot of crossover.
Right,
right.
Right.
And I think they were all really successful. Earth 1 Wonder Woman, I wasn't a huge fan, but I still recognize Game. Earth 1 Green Lantern, incredible series. Earth 1 Batman, highs and lows. Earth 1 Superman, I think it's a lot of people's favorite Superman. But and then there was also that Teen Titans book. But it was, and I think that if you look at the multiverse map or the categorization, they do say, no, that's all in the same universe. And you're like, really? But again, it's been so long since the last volume dropped.
Right.
And it's been so long since anyone cared. You could do another universe and just go, yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
Crate says, holy moly, I caught ComicPop live. Love the content. I showed my wife the One More Day and omit back issues. And even though she knows nothing about comics, she was flabbergasted and offended. Well, wow. I'm sorry we offended you. No, I'm glad.
I don't think it's you. I hope it wasn't you.
I hope not. But thank you. Thank you very much. I'm glad she enjoyed the show. That's the idea, is that anyone, new and old reader, could read or could watch the show.
Yeah.
Thorn Identity, thank you very much for your generosity and support. I would kill to do some Elseworlds yarns. Damn. Well, it's on its way. I think Elseworlds is coming. So I would definitely dust off some old pitches, maybe get them ready to go. Maybe call some old editors and let them know.
Heck yeah.
You're down.
Heck yeah.
October Soda, thanks for your generosity.
Neon
Nightrider. Can Jason Aaron be enough to keep IDW afloat?
Knight Rider.
Oh, Knight Rider. Yeah, I see. I don't think that Turtles is the only thing that's keeping IDW afloat. In fact, every time that anybody says that, there's always somebody in the comments, and I don't mean on this show, I just mean in general, going, Sonic! There's a Sonic book as well that people really like.
I was just thinking, I also like their
their offerings. The Hunger in the Dusk, the Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees, all of the Dark Days line.
Yeah, I like Dungeon the most.
Dungeon's incredible. So there's plenty of great stuff. In fact, if you were like, man, I like Turtles, and I'm cynical about IDW's future, maybe you should be taking a look at their independent offerings. In fact, maybe we should make a video about one of those offerings in the near future. In fact, maybe you should keep an eye out on this channel for something like that. Matthew Terlago, thanks for your generosity. Holy crap. There's an article going around online saying that Marvel execs and writers have said that the MJ and Peter romance is officially dead and will not be featured ever again going forward. As someone with contacts in the industry, can you confirm? I cannot confirm because I do not have any contacts near, adjacent to, or within the Spider offices. However, I can commentate on it because that's what I do best. And I can say that never say never. And Marvel is very good. They pioneered, in fact, the age-old tradition of lying to their audience. And while it may be internal, there is nothing in a creative medium that says that anything is permanent, particularly in a soap opera serialized fiction universe.
Well, I mean, admittedly, that's like a brilliant long con there where you're like, we're never going to do this.
Wolverine is dead forever.
Right. And then like a year and a half, 2 years later, you're like,
but
you
said that it was over forever. I know that's what we said.
Nothing's forever.
But then one amazing story came across our desk and we had to, there's all kinds of ways.
That would boost some numbers.
Yeah. Also, we know that Marvel is also really good at rage baiting. So I'm sure that they could release something like that or leak something like that just so people could get upset. And
right.
Videos about it and then monetize that rage. And good for them, I mean, obviously, Marvel's trying to get people to be upset enough to like read their comic books. I don't know how that math lines up. It's for some reason it's worked for them. But yeah. I can't confirm. And even if I did, like, that's the thing. Is like, let's say that I did. Let's say I knew Niccolo personally, or like he was a
Which
neighbor.
you don't.
I don't. I don't think I've actually ever met Niccolo. But let's say I did. Because it's such a ridiculous notion. Because I really have never met him, and we have no connected. We have no connected tissue whatsoever. I couldn't tell you if I did. It's true I have friends in the comic book industry, but they wouldn't be friendly for long if they knew that I was monetizing my access to them instead of just having casual internal conversations. Gossip is a dirty business. Matthew Anderson says, "You guys are awesome. Thanks for being great teachers and being funny. You guys helped me get back into comics. Love you guys." Well, thanks, Matthew.
Thank you so much.
I'll take all those distinctions. Teachers and humor and getting people back into comics. Thank you very much. And finally, Navdeep Singh Sani says, "Watching Sal, Ben, Ethan, and Tiffany in back issues is a part of my life now. I smile when you guys smile. You are like my family. Thank you." Well, thank you very much. Navdeep, we do appreciate that. That's very kind. Yeah, I like that a lot.
That's really sweet.
Thank you. So let's talk about some comic books. I read Nightwing 110. I had opinions about this cover, this like
you had big opinions.
covers. This is, of course, written by Tom Taylor with art by Sammy Basri. This is a tie-in to Beast World.
Oh, that doesn't say that.
No, it's not. Thank goodness. Well, we got to make room for this hilarious meme cover. And while I can tell you that everything on this cover kind of happens, except for the like tipping of Bloodhaven.
Is he a cat?
He is a cat. Damian is turned into a cat because of Beast World, and he looks like this. That's his cat form. This issue is Nightwing wants to find Damian.
Is this his fursona?
I would say it might be.
Oh my gosh, they should have just called it that.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, everyone's fursonas.
Yeah,
but not everybody is furry. Some people are lizards and stuff.
Okay, they're
But
scaly.
yeah, so John is looking for Damian. He enlists Nightwing, or maybe Nightwing. Yeah, Nightwing calls John to get Damian. And so Nightwing and Superman, young Superman, like team up to go look for Damian. They do. Laughs are had. Faces are punched. And beast versions, fursonas are cured. It's a fine issue, but this cover sucks. So I'll be the first to say it. I'm sorry. This is not.
This is really making you.
It's an ugly cover, and it's not like it's a try hard cover. That's what it says to me.
Oh, that's great.
But I had to. Gavin Guidry, I had to design a crocodile and a tree frog for the event. That's awesome. See? All right. Tree frogs and crocodiles. I think I saw your crocodile. But yeah, man.
Okay, I have not been keeping up with this event.
Oh, me either.
Are they themselves? Like, are they of their own minds? Or are they like, hi, I'm Damian, you have to take me like totally serious, even though I'm a Catman?
It's that.
Like,
I'm pretty sure it's that. At least that's what happens in this.
Oh, okay.
Damian seems to be like wild and used in some kind of an underground fighting ring, but then they talk to him, and it turns out he was playing possum or whatever cat equivalent there is for that.
Does he have any cat tendencies?
I mean, he looks like a cat, and he he growls when he's unhappy.
Does he purr when he is happy? I mean, we never know.
It didn't really come up
unless he was reading his manga.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That didn't really come up either.
He should be sitting there.
Yeah, it's actually sad because I don't think there is a Batman and Robin Joshua Williamson tie-in to this, because if there was, then we get it, because the manga's plot is over there.
Yeah.
But it's it was a fun deviation. It was a distraction from regular life.
Like, if supervillain was fighting him, could they just put a box out and he'd be compelled to sit in it?
Right? I don't know. We'll pick him up by the scruff of his neck. But again, these are all questions that were not answered in this issue, which I feel like is a miss.
Just saying.
But it's a fine issue.
I have so many questions.
Yeah, it does continue the story, and continues the tradition of like low stakes joy. Like, this is a fun book where your heroes are heroes, and the drama is in the conflict, and it's not, the conflict comes from the antagonists, and it's not like, we're not shooting Dick in the head,
right,
and turning him into somebody else, and meeting some girl, and then having us worry about whether they're going to get back together when he gets his
Yeah.
It's
okay.
Just, it's nice.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. That's fine.
It's fine. It's fine. I wouldn't have paid full price for it.
Okay. That's fair.
I might wait. Especially because it's Italian, it's not really.
Yeah.
But whatever. I also read Batman Superman World's Finest number 23. You can get ready. Mark Waid, Dan Mora. This is one of the most gorgeous books on the shelves. Also, it's the most fun. It's a quintessentially DC comic book. You should be reading the series if you haven't already. Only 23 issues. Go back and pick them all up, please, for the love of God. Batman and Superman are trapped in the Kingdom Come universe or some Kingdom Come adjacent universe because, it can't be Kingdom Come.
I love the idea of being a Kingdom Come adjacent universe.
Well, because like characters are dead or something, and it's like those characters appeared in Kingdom Come, they're not dead. But right. But obviously, Boy Thunder has become or will become Magog. Gog is a problem. Gog is looking to get the anti-life equation. It's really fun. It's a very like fast-paced, high stakes. Team up book where we see not only Batman and Superman, but also Batman and Superman, and those four characters all team up and fight evil. I'm like, yeah, I'm on board. It's great, and it looks better. It's just a fun story and continues this series that like has really never stopped. Like it's there's arcs, sure, and I think the first 2 arcs felt like that's a volume,
right.
But like that's a complete thing. This has just been one after another. Like this is the DC universe, right. But in the past. So they see Booster Gold and Batman's like, I don't know who that is,
right?
And I'm like, that's fun. That's 2 issues ago at least, but it's worth reading, especially if you remember or enjoyed any of Kingdom Come, or maybe if you thought that any Kingdom Come sequel sucked. So
it still looks great.
Oh, of course, it's Dan Mora. It's freaking awesome looking. It's classic images, new classic moments for your favorite characters. It's totally awesome.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Great.
I
guess staying on the DC side of it for a second, I read Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong by Brian Bucaletta with art by Kristen Duce.
Okay.
I don't know how to say your last name. I'm sorry. This is the series that pits the Justice League against Godzilla and other monsters.
Yes.
Bringing in the movie verse for Godzilla and Kong into the world of this Justice League, because it's a
made up Justice League for this universe.
It's whatever they need it to be. And this issue, I gotta tell you, I wasn't feeling some of the writing in this as much, but then there was a moment at the end that I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
But we didn't get a chance to talk about issue 3 where I was like, oh yeah, what happened in that again? Oh yeah. Where Superman's blasted by fire by Godzilla's. Yeah, he's dead.
Okay, he's dead.
Yeah, he died.
All right.
Well, presumably he died. He has no pulse. Kara is off helping Ollie.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, she's helping Flash.
Okay.
And she just stopped. She's like, Cal. And they
his heartbeat stopped.
Yeah, she's like, I can't hear his heart anymore.
That's cool. Okay.
And so she goes and they're like, yeah. Now Batman admittedly is written very differently in this. And part of me was initially that's not right. And the more I think about it, the more I'm like, and what is wrong with Batman being upset and concerned about his friend? He's like, Clark's not dead.
Okay.
He's like, no, he's not. He's not dead. He's really upset about it. And I was like, no, that's wrong. And then later on, I was like, why? That's nice. That's just nice. That's his buddy.
Yeah.
He's like, they're like, we have to tell Lois, and he's like, no one tells her anything until I see Clark.
I like that,
because he's like, I don't want to upset her. And I was like, I think I
like this well-adjusted Batman.
Yeah. Now that I'm going back on it, but in the moment I was like, that's not correct. But now I'm like, no, this is A-okay.
Yeah.
Lois does go and see him. They try all sorts of things. Nothing's working. Batman just doesn't believe it. He's like, no, no. What I liked about later on was now that Lois was there to see the body, she can't help herself. She puts herself to work, essentially. She's on the watchtower.
Yeah.
And so she starts piecing things together. So she's helping to solve what's going on.
Cool.
And I'm like, that's neat. I appreciate that. Lois would want a distraction.
Yes, of course.
100%. So I was like, that's good. This is good. I'm still on board with this. Initially they're making it out to be that Godzilla is seemingly the antagonist, but then obviously much like in the other movies, it's just that he is a force of nature.
Yes.
And that he's
not good or evil.
He is there to balance the forces of nature, but seemingly something's also pulling them places and driving them other areas and other places. So inevitably we end up in Under the Sea. With Aquaman.
That's what the cover promises.
Yeah, and there's the biggest one they've seen so far, and they're in a lot of trouble.
We're in a lot of trouble.
And then Godzilla comes out of nowhere and just starts fighting it. And they're like, And that's when like Mera's like, we got to do it. We got to, come on.
Here now?
No, not it.
I mean, I'm down, but wow.
So yeah. Aquaman's like, all right, let's here we go. And like other people are like, that's not a good idea. And she's like, your king has made his decision. And I'm like, really? You okay? I mean, like, was it his
really?
choice?
You made that decision, Lady Macbeth, but okay.
Yeah, and he's just enacting it. And you know, they released the Kraken.
Sweet. Does anybody say it?
You mean does Green Lantern go? Wait, seriously? He released the Kraken?
Yay!
Yeah, no, it is acknowledged. It is acknowledged that the Kraken was released. This is a fun, silly book that I look forward to covering on the couch one day when it's finished.
Oh yeah,
like I truly cannot wait to talk about this one.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I've said it before, like I am always Team Godzilla versus Kong. Kong has there is a really stupidly like good moment in this that like I just appreciated it, right? Ollie obviously ended up on Skull Island,
yes,
right? And like he has run into Kong and he's like, I better what am I gonna do? Kong's like fighting something, and then he like notices Ollie when he's all done, and Ollie's like, hi.
Mm-hmm.
Boxing glove arrow? But that's when Supergirl shows up, and Kong is like, because she's blonde.
Oh no!
So he's like, he stopped dead in his tracks.
Right, okay.
And then she like punches him. So I was like,
that's awesome.
I love that. Yeah, I love that.
That's smart.
So much. So yeah, good stuff.
All right.
Really still enjoying this book.
I'm glad.
Yeah, good. Really quickly, I'm not going to go too into it because again, it's far too mature for this channel. But the Deviant issue 3 came out. I went back, caught up on issue 2. This is James Tynion IV with art by Josh Hickson.
Yes.
You know, this is like a scary Christmas cold weather serial killer kind of book. I don't know if there's anything more. I don't think it's supernatural, presumably. It's just interesting. It's just well written. It's interesting. It's dark.
Sure.
It takes place over different time periods. Like we flash back to when like these things originally happened. We flash forward to like why does this person want to like write about this now? The art's great. It really fits. It just fits the tone of this book in like a fantastic way. I love the layouts of the pages as well. Like it doesn't like go out of its way to break anything. You know, like I love when an artist will, you know, shatter the bounds of, you know, boxes and frames and panels on a page. Yeah. But I also like when an artist tells a story simply and
just uses the format.
But in a way that I don't know. There's just something kind of like beautiful about it, but even though it's like horror. There's something gorgeous about it, and I just can't get over their title pages. They just embrace the darkness so much for it. It just really sets the tone. This is a good tone book all around. So nice. Wanted to give a shout out to that.
Love it.
A couple of other things that I'm not going to go into details about that I poked through. I can't say I read all of it.
Okay.
But poked through them. Cable number 1 this week came out.
Yes.
Fabian Nicieza on writing for that with art by Cam Smith. I think.
Yep.
No, Eaton. Sorry.
No, it says it right there.
No. It's Scott
the
Eaton.
inker. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Scott Eaton is the artist on that. I just wanted to see what they were doing with Cable. It has a Fall of the House of X on it. Like, what are we doing with this?
Yeah.
It's old Cable teaming up with young Cable. He goes to go save him.
Yeah.
And they're like, literally in this book, Nicieza. Now, I don't know where this is going to go. I really don't know.
Yeah.
If this is going to end up tying more into Fall of House of X, or they just put,
or if it's just put the label on.
But like Nicieza goes out of his way in this book to be like, yeah, they've got a problem, but actually the biggest problem is really this thing that I'm putting in this book. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, and thank God I was there to deal with it, because even though they're dealing with the biggest problem, they don't even know how bad it could have been if I hadn't been involved in my own solo series.
So yeah, but I mean, here's the thing: if you like storytelling from like, I don't know, late 90s ish. You know, the 90s just in general. Like when Nicieza was doing a lot of his writing, 90s, 2000s, like early 2000s, right?
Yeah.
Am I correct about that?
Yeah.
Cool. Am I?
Wait, what?
When was Nicieza doing the bulk of his storytelling?
The early 90s.
The early 90s. Okay, so yeah. But I would say like it has progressed. It's not like he took a script. It's not
frozen in time.
No, it has progressed, but it gives you the vibes of that. And if that's what you're looking for, you're probably going to enjoy this issue.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It just... there's a lot of narration. He literally says, I think at one point, like, typically, like, I have something, like one pouch could solve this problem. Like, I was like,
fair.
Okay.
That's awesome.
So it's like,
I like that
we're
line.
writing like it's the early 90s, but with a little more self-awareness. So take that as you will. But yeah, so it's both Cables doing some stuff.
All right, that's cool.
They
Watch and Learn Kid. I'm sure that's going to be in that book.
There's a lot of repeated things and such. But yeah, it's from old Cable's perspective.
Yeah,
for sure. Additionally, I also poked through Invincible Iron Man number 14.
Oh yeah, the other X-Men book.
I just was like, all right, what is going on here? How does this tie into it? Just because it's directly, like, Tony is referenced directly in X-Men this past week. So I was like, let me just do a quick check-in to see what's going on,
In Forge. Hey, Forge and Tony, I'd love to see that.
They don't really interact so much. It's really Forge and Riri who are working
all
together.
right, well, that's fine.
And they go to Niv
yeah, Etrees realm or whatever.
Yeah the Forge, the Great Forge.
Yes, the Great Forge.
But that's what they're doing, and Tony meanwhile is just having like a whatever he's having with Emma Frost.
Yes, is a sham marriage.
A bunch of what they do in this issue is the two of them bang.
Oh, okay, so, well, good for them.
Yay, I guess.
So does it actually happen, or is it in their minds?
Presumably it's actually I mean, like, if it happens in your mind, it feels that good. What does it matter?
Well, I know. I'm just saying.
The memory, it happened.
Listen, if you ask Sylvester Stallone and Demolition Man, he'd tell you there's a huge difference.
Well, I'm not asking him.
Well, I guess that's fair.
But Tony's been working on a solution for
the mutant problem.
No, for the fact that Orcus has, like, hostages that don't know that they're hostages. It's everybody who's taken the medicine. They have, like, something they could like kill all those people. So,
okay.
And the mutants know that, so they can't speak up about it.
Yeah.
So they've been working on a way to, like, mass, like, get out there.
Like a cure or something.
For that, essentially. So that falls into that. So I did a quick check-in on that.
Cool.
That's all I wanted to say about that. And
should use Extremis or some kind of
They X-Men explains what they think they're going to be doing with this.
Right.
It's the issue is the distribution. Like, Tony has a solution. They have a solution. They just need to figure out how to get it out there. And,
gotcha.
And we talk about that in the other book. But I just wanted to say I did check in. Admittedly, when I read this, I was like, ooh, I think I might want to go back and actually read a little bit more because I really like the Emma Tony stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is good. I like this, I think. So I might go back and check out a little more of that. But I just wanted to, like, be like, hey, I checked this out.
Sure, yeah. Well, I read James Bond 007 #1 from Garth Ennis and Rafa Labasco.
I didn't even know that was coming out.
I know. It jumped right onto the thing. I was like, Garth Ennis is doing a James Bond book? Well, I guess I got to read that when I found out about it months ago. And then I looked it up and it was like, oh, it's out already. And I'm like, oh, bye. And I mean, it's very interesting because it's like old school meets new school. Like at times you feel the kind of like Daniel Craig influence, but also within the framework of like real Bond as opposed to like Born Bond.
Right.
I feel like there is an implication. It's very different. Like Moneypenny and M are black. Not like it matters, but I'm just saying like it's a way of showing like this is a different universe.
Right.
This is not okay. This isn't Ray Fiennes. This isn't anybody. It's just it's not Judi Dench. It's something else. Or that everyone you could imply because they talk about how they're dealing with this problem. It was like a flat the Reds or the Russians have obtained this kind of like flash freezing solution. It's like a bomb, but instead of it exploding, it just freezes the people in the vicinity.
Okay.
And then you can introduce like a chemical agent that will melt it, but the people inside are dead. So it's like it's like dropping an EMP, but like it's frozen. So it's cold. That's the theme.
It's the Cold War.
It's the Cold War. Haha, I get it. And
there's a reason we call it the Cold War.
Yeah, but and then the reveal is that like the English actually made it and that they lost it and that they're like we feel stupid and inept and we got to go get it back. And I'm like, yeah, an Irishman writing this? Wow, who'd have thought? But they talk about how the last time they dealt with this, his predecessor dealt with it. And so Bond goes to meet with like a retired 00 agent, and the art doesn't suggest it's anyone, but you could imagine that like there have been many Moneypennies, there have been many M's, there have been many James Bonds.
Okay.
And that this James Bond is dealing with another potential James Bond.
Okay.
Like it's the fan theory everyone's had forever since you saw The Rock. And you were like, so that's the Sean Connery James Bond? Because that's exactly what The Rock is.
You just got rid of him?
Yeah. He went off, he went off book, and the US government like put him away, and MI6 disavowed any knowledge of him. That's The Rock. The Rock movie from Michael Bay. It is absolutely, Mason is a pseudonym. Real name is Bond. Anyway. Or Mason's his real name, and they disavowed his Bond name.
Right.
But anyway, it's fun to see like Bond doing his thing. There is a Q as well.
Yeah.
And he actually there's gadgets and stuff, and it's like, oh, they're not afraid or embarrassed by that. That's how refreshing. It's fun. It doesn't talk down to you. It's not overly complicated. As a kid, I was always turned off by Bond because so many adults in my life watched it and raved about it. When I would jump in to catch it, there'd be this like titillating and incredible opening sequence with like titles and insanity, but it would also be usually typically pretty alienating because it's like so cemented in like the 60s or 70s. And then there'd be like a long, boring conversation about like, naming countries that I'm never going to go to. And I'm like, and it only took, 20 years or so for me to finally watch a James Bond movie and go, these aren't terribly complicated at all. These are like the least complicated things I've ever seen in my life.
But to a child.
Right, to a child, it's like, this is
impenetrable.
This is heavy stuff. And it's like, no, it's not. Yeah, I had James Bond Jr., James's nephew. Yeah, a lot of people name their nephews after them and have the junior afterwards. Sure thing, Jim. But anyway. This carries that tradition. I've seen, like Brubaker's doing a lot of like crime stuff, and it's like that's some smart shit. That's too smart for my blood.
Right.
This is Ennis. I'm okay.
Okay.
He's also super violent to Italians and makes fun of them and otherizes them, and I'm like, all right, what am I gonna do? I ain't from Italy, but it's weird. It's like at this point, Ennis always adds one thing for people to get really upset about.
Like, and here it is.
And here it is. And at some point I was reading it and I was like, are we sure Garth wrote this? And then there's a huge sequence of horrible gore. And I'm like, oh yeah, there it is. All right. But otherwise, I mean, like, honestly, I'm like, all right, I don't know how long it's going to run, but it's like somebody finally listened to me. Like long ago, I would be like,
yeah.
Oh man, you know what Valiant should do? They should put Garth Ennis on Bloodshot. People would read that. Right. And you could really lean into that concept and really like just go completely off. But putting Ennis on James Bond, it's like, yeah, all right, that's smart. And like, there's a noble tradition of a lot of Irish infusion into the James Bond franchise.
Exactly.
I cite Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. I was trying to make it work with the Turtles somehow because we just talked about that. And I'm like, Garth Ennis on a Shredder issue?
Absolutely not. Nope. I don't want him anywhere near the Turtles.
No, I know. I realized it. I was like, this is a bad pitch, but I was like, I can't even fake it. I can't make that work at all.
Yeah.
Like at all.
Yeah. I love there's a comment about how Garth is a bad writer, and I'm like, and you haven't read enough of him. Because it's not it is subjective. It's completely subjective.
Hang on. Whoa. Simmer down. I would say that I think it depends on where. If you've only read, like, let's say your introduction to him was Batman Reptile.
Oh yeah.
You are 100% correct in that.
And the reality is no one has, except for like you. So no one would be able to have that frame of reference.
But he has written some other things that, are quite strong. Like if you like John Constantine, he's got a great run there. He's got a really great run, but it's like you have to be looking to read about a character who kind of loathes himself, but also like would do anything to say, like, he's not a hero.
Right.
Like that's what it is. If you're looking for like a heroic story, Ennis ain't your guy.
No.
And so like I could see why people would think that he's not a good writer. And you have absolutely every right to your opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you are entitled to your opinion. But I would say, make sure to read more. you know, before you make
we don't know though. You don't know how much they've read.
That's true. I feel like I could probably extrapolate.
Oh my god!
But
you're such a jerk sometimes.
I read Cobra Commander #1 from Joshua Williamson and Andrea Milana. Cobra Commander was a book that I heard a lot of people raving about.
It's the spaghetti snakes.
It's the snakes. Yeah. The art's fantastic. The book looks really great. You know, it has a very fun kind of. I don't want to miscategorize it. It has almost an indie quality to it.
Okay.
But yeah, this is, you know, I always thought I didn't really know anything about G.I. Joe, and Cobra Commander proved that 100%, because, you know, Cobra's in seemingly like another dimension or another planet, and I'm like, I don't even know what the hell I'm looking at. Like, I don't know what's happening.
Okay. Is he in the Cobra dimension?
He's in Cobra La, which is canon. That's from...
Apparently I know more about G.I. Joe than you do.
Right, exactly.
Which I know nothing about G.I.
Joe. But it's funny because I've read Duke and I've read Transformers, and Transformers, I was like, is this even connected? And then someone's like, yeah, didn't you see Duke like fly a plane and be in the book technically? And I'm like, no, I did not notice that. Cobra Commander is directly connected to the Energon universe and the expanding universe. And while I was like, I don't know what the hell is happening with respect to like Cobra Commander and what he went through and his scarring and, you know, his mission and his loyalty to the cause and his, you know, infiltration of our realm or world. But damn it if I don't want to read more, because like it's connected, like its connection in the last 2-page reveal of its connection to the Energon universe. I'm like, all right. I mean, and it's doing it. Like,
yeah.
Whereas it seemed superficial at first, this feels like it's really starting to connect things and pull off what Skybound is going for.
Okay.
You know, Skybound is like, we are building a universe. We're setting up this whole interconnected thing, you know, and it's all going to be part of one ongoing thing. Like, I feel like it'll feel good when they do an inevitable like event or multi-part epic to be here at the ground floor when it eventually coalesces.
Right.
Because it is like it is automatically coalescing. And I'm like, that's cool and interesting.
Okay.
You know, like it, and it directly connects with what's happening in Transformers. And I was like, oh
really?
yeah, over there. Yeah. But also it's fun to watch Cobra Commander be like the point of reference character. Like he's our ride along for this whole first issue. Obviously, it's weird. A book about Cobra Commander.
Yeah.
He gets his title in this.
Oh.
He's like, I'm gonna need a new title.
Was he the Cobra Lieutenant?
I don't know what he was.
I don't know what comes below a commander.
Right? I think Commander is more of like an honorary title. But,
Cobra Captain?
Yeah. But yeah, so it's fun and bizarre and just continues to you know, baffle me.
Okay, no, that's fair.
I was like, I gotta read this.
The cover is striking because of their use of complementary colors.
Yeah.
This is nice. It's good.
I agree.
That red title just pops right off.
It sure does, yeah.
You want to talk about X-Men really quickly?
I think that's a fantastic idea.
X-Men #30 came out, written by Jerry Duggan with art by Phil Noto.
Yay! What a great combo, and the High Evolutionary debut.
Yeah, and the High Evolutionary debut. This issue reminds us that Scott is going for his trial.
Yeah.
He is dreaming of Jean. Where
he dreams of Jeannie, you say?
No, I said he dreams of Jean.
I know what you said.
Where he's like, you know, he's concerned, he's worried, and he's like, "Is this happening?" And she's like, "Yeah,
yeah, in your brain."
No, like she says it's gonna be okay, and then essentially she's like, "Yeah." He says like, "Are you real?" And she's like, "Of course I am." And then he notices the fire, and she's like, "But I am the fire."
Oh no!
And I'm like, "Uh
oh."
But like Scott's in his like one of his OG costumes.
Yeah, they put him in that, like when they arrested him, they like shoved him into a classic X-Men costume.
Yeah, there's a reason for it.
Why?
Well, he says that he's like, I assume my first uniform because your masters have decided it's the most recognizable one for their propaganda purposes.
Right. Like I want you to know it's Cyclops in there. Yeah.
So he's talking with a psychiatrist or psychologist or a therapist, a doctor of some
sort. Who works for Orcus, I assume?
Well, no, they're technically working for them in as much as they were told to go in here, give him an evaluation to say that he's fit to stand trial. Upon hearing everything he has to say, she's like, this man's not fit to stand trial. And they're like, yeah, but here's the thing.
All right, Blam.
The secret mutant in your family is going to have a really hard time if you don't say he's fit for trial.
Why do we even bother? Like, Orcus has AIM. I'm sure one of them has a psychiatry degree.
I think it's to remind us, like, that, you know, as much as Nimrod and the Omega Sentinel are an issue, and like whatever is going on in the Rise of the Power of 10 is like a possible problem for the future. Yeah. The fact is, at the end of the day, Orcus does not have humanity's best interest at heart. They have their best interests at heart, and I think this is just another way for us to like hammer that home.
Fair.
And it's like, don't forget. I mean, we know they're the bad guys, but they're the bad guys for not just mutants.
Right.
They're like, we'll also take advantage of humans, you know, just because you love someone who we say is wrong. Like, yeah. So I'm like, okay, cool. We get this fun tarot card. Tarot cards have played a role throughout Krakoa's run, so I appreciate that. It's the lovers. In this issue, the rest of it, when we talk about the X-Men, deals with Synch and Talon. We get a little like, hey, don't forget
remember how that all came about.
How this all started out. We see like the band here. So we got like, you know, Tony's there and Kamala and Synch and Talon, and they're also being helped out by Spider-Man and Gold Goblin.
Oh, okay.
Is Gold Goblin still up and running? Is he operational?
Sure. Like whatever. Honestly, I don't think so.
Right? Okay. Well, whatever. Essentially, they came up with like the way to get rid of or to suppress the like negative issues with what Orcus put into the medicine that Krakoa created. They're just trying to figure out how they're going to get it out there, right? There's like two moments with Spider-Man here. Essentially, Gold Goblin's like, I don't like the idea of us skipping human trials before we put it out there, but like, I get it, we need to go. And Spider-Man's like, that's a first from Norman Osborn.
Yeah.
And then this panel occurred, and all I could think of was Sal, was because Spider-Man's sitting there and he's like, listen, maybe we can help. Like maybe we can get help from one of our enemies. Maybe they've already designed a delivery system for us. He's like, I asked this because, well, don't ask me how I know it, but I know that Sauron wants to turn everyone into dinosaurs. Maybe that tech already exists.
Yeah, because he doesn't want to cure cancer. He wants to turn people into dinosaurs.
But he's like, but if that's all he wants, maybe he's already found a delivery system for something like this.
That's
right?
true.
He's like, start thinking like that.
Yeah.
Everyone's looking at him and he's like, okay, I know that was dumb. They're like, no, man, that's brilliant, because they remember that the High Evolutionary had come to them and gave them a thing that would kill all of humanity.
Yes.
Or like, you know,
but instead of killing them, they'll just cure them of that.
Make them, I can't remember if it was,
or turn them into, you know, bear people or whatever the hell he wants to do.
But like, they're like, that's what we need.
We'll make a world of bovas.
They're like, we just need that, and then we can alter that device, and it'll give us what we need.
Yeah.
Tony runs into I always want to call her Starfire. Firestar. I always want to call her Starfire, and every time I'm like,
it ain't her.
That ain't her. Because they know that she is working.
Yeah,
with them. She's a sleeper agent. Not really. She's a traitor.
Yeah, they don't, and they still think she's a traitor because of Jean.
Well, some of them do, and some of them don't. Like Cyclops knows she isn't. Tony knows that. Or the X-Men know that like she's feeding them information, and she gives Orcus back like the information that they say that it's
okay dummy info.
Yeah, but at this point, Tony's like, it's time for you to get out.
Right.
Like,
okay.
This is not going to last
pulling you out of this.
Longer. Yeah. Like
especially if we win, like we're going to want to destroy Orcus, and we don't want you being like Orcus.
Yeah. Give him one more thing, and then we'll stage an accident and get you out of there. Essentially. So that's,
since they're talking about it, that means it's not going to happen.
Bingo. Right. So that's the plan. We see Talon and Synch fighting their way to the High Evolutionary. They managed to turn a whole bunch of the animals there against him, because it's very easy to do that. He's the High Evolutionary.
They're dumb.
Not a nice guy. No, it really didn't take much. They make sure to mention that the Tesla elephant and his friends agree to help. So because he has electricity, ivory tusks. That was the word. So anyway, they walk in, they get their thing, they go to leave, and there's the High Evolutionary and his daughter. And they're like, well, you said we could have this, so we thought we would just come and take it now.
Right. He's like, never.
He's like, you said.
Right.
You said. They're like, okay, well, here's the thing. I heard you guys lost control of
your country,
of everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, now you want this?
Yeah.
Like I was gonna, not do this, like, essentially, because they're like, you took 1 drop of Sync's blood.
Yes,
that was the trade-off, right?
We paid you.
Like, we paid this. He's like, no, that was the payment for me not to like
destroy you,
to let humanity live. So that was that payment. So now you owe me something else.
Oh, okay.
His daughter's like, I'll fight you. And if I lose,
if I lose, then you can do it.
Yeah. So Sync just borrows some powers from Karma and like makes her afraid of things. She sees her father working on her. Essentially, it's very Thanos and no, not Gamora.
Oh, Nebula.
Yeah, very that. But then like High Evolutionary is like, I didn't agree to that. She agreed to that. What? That's dumb. So they, they're like, all right, then we'll fight you.
All right.
So Talon jumps in, Sync borrows Talon's powers, and they go for it, right? We see that Firestar like gives them the information they want, like, oh, Tony Stark in that Tony Stark book has all these like ships, so he's going to be landing in Australia, and like the idea is for them to get as many of the Sentinels away, and they're going to put them all there, and like that's what like Orcus is like, they're like, okay, we'll send everyone and we'll show them that they're trash, right?
Okay.
So like they are walking right into it, which makes me think that they definitely know what's happening. I don't know. I'm like,
right. It seems pretty. Who's playing who?
Who's outmaneuvering who here in this chess game? I don't know.
Yeah.
There's clearly a desire for like Firestar to be taken care of. They're like, I don't know about this. Back at mutant headquarters, Sync shows up and he's like, I got the thing. Here you go. And like Tony's like, how you doing? And he's just like, it was a day. He goes out, he's having a conversation with Talon, whatever. And then Kamala comes out. She's like, who are you talking to? And we see he's not talking to
anybody.
Anyone.
Why? Did Talon not make it?
She didn't make it.
Oh.
Right. And there's no protocols.
No, yeah. So she's dead again.
So she's dead. Basically, the High Evolutionary won. He kicked their asses. And then he forced her to like stab herself. And then like he just annihilated her.
Okay.
And so Sync quickly utilizes Xavier's power and like saves a copy of her consciousness in his mind. So she's in there with him.
Oh my God. Okay.
And he's like, I'm just going to hang on to you as long as I can.
Right.
Because like he doesn't want to lose her again. He just got her back.
And she had no say in it, I guess.
No,
so
she's like, I don't understand what's going on. Like, why do I feel like I don't have a body?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah. So I was like, oh boy.
I'm doing this. All right.
But it's, again, this is another way in which they're like, well, we got rid of the
protocols and everything.
The additional Laura.
Right.
Because Laura still exists.
Yeah.
And now we got rid of this one.
So she'll die.
I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. This one, that was good. That got me.
It's a great reveal.
That reveal of like Kamala being like, who are you talking to? And there's no one there. I was like, wait,
what? Yeah, that's cool.
So yeah. Love it. So good.
Yep. That's why I don't read X-Men. So Superman number 10 is of course written by Josh Williamson with art this time by doesn't say. I don't remember.
You don't remember?
No. Sorry. Oh, here we go. Bruno Redondo did the art for this one.
I feel like there's no way you'd forget that.
I know, it's true.
And yet.
So Superman, this is a big, fun story where Superman is in the Old West and teams up with Marilyn Moon Knight to try and get back. They team up with, or they fight an old adversary who has a convenient time machine nearby. They use it to get back. It's just, the story is Superman in the Old West. Watch this. Isn't it fun? And it is.
Why would he even need chaps?
Because his powers had waned because of the previous fight he had. And so, but he's been in the Old West for like a couple of days or weeks. So he's just been absorbing, solar radiation.
Sure. I do love the cape as like a sort
of a duster thing,
like duster poncho.
I know. Yeah. It's poncho. It's great. It's smart. And the portrayal of Cowboy Superman is really fun and cool. I'm sure it'll go into Lois's sex closet for outfits that she wants to make him wear. No. Thanks, Canon. The outfit he wears at War World, which is like a very, John Carter, Frank Frazetta kind of inspired bondage outfit. Yeah. They establish in like one of the books that like Lois makes him put that on every once in a while. So, I'm assuming that's just the thing they do.
Okay.
But good
for her.
We get a little origin for Marilyn Moon Knight, and you're like, okay, that's fun. And it's like, that's fun. It's just a fun little story. And then it wraps up with like, oh no, the Lex Luthor We Hate You squad is gonna attack Superman, and we're gonna, and they were like, and let's explain to you what's happening. I'm like, oh, the next issue is gonna be a flashback issue, isn't it? So we'll see how that goes.
Okay, all right.
But yeah, it's fun. This cover is phenomenal, and the story is like a really fun, like nice drop in. Here's a Superman in the Old West kind of story. Like, oh, that's fun. And it doesn't, you know, he's not like, oh no, how will I get back?
Right.
It's 6 weeks of books of him being like, I miss Lois. Like, it's just, he actually keeps like a little note where he's like, dear Lois, you know, I miss you, and I'm trapped in the Old West. And then the note goes all the way through the story as he's like clearly solving the problem. And then he's like, and I'm going to hand this note to you when I see you next. And he's like, here you go.
It's a Ken Burnsian style.
Exactly.
As I sit here.
Yeah.
Thinking to myself, you'll want me to put this outfit on again.
Exactly. My heart is racked by pains of your absence. So yeah, it's fun. It's a fun story.
Okay.
But in this little like quick break from the usual.
Excellent. You want to talk about Wonder Woman?
Yeah, Wonder Woman. Did you read Wonder Woman?
Yes.
Did you read the previous Wonder Woman?
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I remember seeing you reading it and going,
No, you didn't.
Didn't I? I thought I did.
No.
All right. Tom King, Daniel Sampere doing the work of his career. This is great.
Yeah.
Continues to be phenomenal.
Yes.
This in particular, this issue is Wonder Woman faces the trials of the Wonder Girls. She challenges all the Wonder Girls to not be in Wonder Woman. She's like, you know, because Wonder Woman's doing like a one-woman army
she doesn't
fight
want
against
anyone else to get hurt.
Yep.
That's it. She doesn't want to worry about that.
Yeah, so she challenges all the Wonder
Yara
Girls.
and Cassie and Donna.
Yep. And she challenges them. If I beat you, you won't be in the Wonder Woman book. And they're like, okay. And they each pick a skill set. Each of them is vanquished by Wonder Woman. And but we see that. And that's the whole issue is the trials of those. And it's funny because like I remember with the first issue, people going like, whoa, where's Cassie? Where's Donna? Where's Yara? And it's like issue 5.
Here they are.
Here you go. They all are. Here they all are.
Here's everybody.
And they all do their specialization, which is fun, or at least what they pick is their specialization.
Kind of. No, like Yara, yes, she picks
arrows.
Arrows. Cassie picks arms. So they have like an arm
wrestling fight.
Yeah, and then Donna does like she wants something different. She's trying to outthink her.
Yes.
So it's like more like wits in a way, and she does. Seemingly she does until she doesn't.
Yes, until she doesn't.
I love that.
Yeah,
it's so good.
Good stuff. And a little like dig at the other two. Not a dig, but more like a commentary. Like Tom King gets to say something about Batman and Superman in this Wonder Woman book, but without them overshadowing her or taking the place of it. You know,
yes.
Like people love like Wonder Woman Hecate, and the one thing they take away from it is that Batman's on the cover. You know, it's like it overshadows that whole thing, even if like Batman's not really in that book very much.
Right.
It's nice that like they don't even appear in the book. They're video game avatars.
Yeah.
But yeah, and we see like why Donna or how Donna like learned to play video games from like the other Titans in the tower. I'm like, that's nice.
It's cute.
Yeah, but what'd you think?
I like it. I still like this book.
Yeah, I do too.
It's well written. The art is phenomenal.
Yeah.
I like it quite a bit. And
I
think yes.
Throughout the book, while that's happening, Sergeant Steele is recruiting.
His own
anti Wonder Woman squad, which includes just Wonder Woman villains.
Yeah.
You know, and it's funny because it goes from like, I remember them to
I guess Tom King remembers.
Okay, well, and I think that actually speaks to just Wonder Woman's rogues and how like underwhelming it is.
Mm-hmm.
Not to say that Wonder Woman like has a crappy rogues gallery. I think most superheroes have a pretty like you think, oh man, rogues galleries, right? Like Spider-Man and Batman, and it's like people even think that Superman has a crappy rogues gallery. I'm like, I could name 6 Superman villains, and they all could occupy the slot in a Superman movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but Wonder Woman, it's like, man, Cheetah. And she's not even in there because she's like not really a villain.
No, they act like they're reserving.
Yeah, they're hanging on to Cheetah.
Or they're not sure she's going to.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
know.
But
like Giganta and Dr. Psycho.
Cersei
makes sense, you know.
100%. Grail.
That was a good use. I was like, hey, Grail, hooray.
Yeah. No, the Cersei one was actually my favorite.
Of course, because what she does.
Yeah, it was so understated. I was like,
oh, the hoof.
Brilliant.
Yeah. But yeah, what'd you think of the 4th issue?
It was good.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It didn't. You were like, you're gonna cry, and like
you're like, no.
I just felt like it was very touching, and I appreciated. I was thinking more about like like Tom was saying with it. Like I like overall, yeah. Like, but it is an excellent issue,
right?
Excellent issue. Like that was such a great one.
Exactly.
For sure.
Yeah, and then there was the backup,
which I glance at them. I never read them.
I
haven't read one of them.
It was cute and fun. John and Damien are on Paradise Island. Trinity is challenged them to a kangaroo race to determine the name of their Trinity. What's it going to be? Obviously, she wins because she's the main character, and she changes her mind about what she wanted to call it. She calls something else. All I know is it's not the one I pitched to Tom in the podcast we did.
What did you pitch?
I think I said trifecta. No, triad. I said triad.
You can't do that.
Why?
Because it's already associated with another group.
So?
Not a superhero group, but still.
Yeah, screw them. But it was cute. It was cute and fun. The art is great in those backups.
That I've seen.
Right, and his characterization of John and Damien and Trinity is great. Like he really like nails it. It's like, oh my god, could Tom King do like a really good Super Sons book?
Probably.
Who'd have thought? I guess the guy with kids. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But it's cute and fun and sweet, and it's a nice little addition, and it is a nice palate cleanser as well, because you really get like a more lighthearted, happy, refreshing, take. I also I have a theory about Trinity and this whole thing.
Okay.
Like I'll throw it out there because it doesn't matter.
Okay.
And I'm not going to influence what like Eisner Award winning author Tom King's going to do.
No.
Also, he doesn't watch the show. But it's that it's beautiful. Like this little story about the third member of the DC, next generation, and watching this new Trinity rise and seeing like what she does and what she brings out from Damien and John, and watching Damien and John's interactions and how they change and grow with her interactions with them. And also just the mystery of like, who is her father? Like, where does Trinity come from? What is the relationship between Trinity and Diana? Like, what's that all about? And I think at the end, they're going to unmake her. I think we're looking at like an alternate reality or like a possible future.
Oh.
Like, I think it's going to be really sad.
Maybe she is the Black Mercy on her.
It could be.
No, I saw that was in. Thing. I saw that was in.
Yeah, it was in one of the backups.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole damn thing could be a Black Mercy.
I don't think
reverse,
so.
Whatever
no,
happened.
this is a story. The story's being told to her.
Yes, it is.
So I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But the story can be told like, I can see all futures, or I could see all outcomes, and because of what you did, all you'll remember is the story of what you had.
No, I don't think Diana's not hearing the story. Trinity is hearing the story.
Yeah, I think so.
From the King.
Right. That's true.
King of America or whatever.
Yeah, King of America. Yeah. but yeah, it's just the kind
Burger King. The Burger King is telling her the story.
Yeah, it's the King of America.
I know.
But yeah,
always kneel to your king.
It's a high recommend. I do love that series.
You're buying a Whopper.
That's right. Charzy says, for an ultimate DCU, a pitch I've had is to set it in the past and make it different. Takes cues from New Frontier. Set in the 60s or 80s, as many juicy stories come from that.
Kind of fun. I mean, listen, I really likes a good period piece.
Yeah, that's true. Cat Loyal Defense Retreats. I'm just a cat standing in front of a comic pop and asking you to do Axe back issues. JK, do it whenever you want to. I'll be here. Just read it again, and it's safe to say it's my all-time favorite event.
Literally, thank you. You're that is the correct answer.
I saw someone on social media.
Am I going to get mad?
Either it was Twitter or Reddit, and they were like, I don't care what anybody says. I think Axe may be the best Marvel event ever made.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Yes.
And I was like,
yes.
How nice that people feel that way. I don't know if that I don't
Wait, was that
No, it wasn't mean. It wasn't you either.
No, was it there was I feel like one of the artists wrote about it. They're like, that my mom says that Axe is one of the best like Marvel events ever made. She's never read anything. It was like one of the artists who said it.
That may be where I saw it from.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think yeah, I think you got to do it. You got to do Axe.
Absolutely.
We have it. It's over there.
I love Axe.
I know
loved
you do.
Axe.
Yeah.
I still love Axe.
Alex Sanchez, have you heard the rumor going around about an Ultimate DC line headlined by Scott Snyder, Jason Aaron, and Al Ewing? How would you feel about all that? I have not heard that. Well, at least I've heard there's a rumor going around about an Ultimate Universe.
Yes.
I mean, those are the top names you could pick. I'm surprised you didn't mention Donny Cates, because everybody has rumors about Donny Cates too. Let's throw out that one too. Like, it could be any names. I mean, the only name I haven't heard being bandied about is Joshua Williamson, who also would have to be involved in it too, because he's like, the architect of the damn DC Dawn of the Universe. But yeah, I have not heard much outside of what you've heard. Jason Aaron's doing Turtles. I don't know if he's got time to work on any of this stuff over at DC. Right. If in fact there was an event going on or some kind of Ultimate Universe. Al Ewing doing anything at DC, top marks. Good idea. Great job. Scott going back to DC. I think that'd be a great move. I think that would help out a lot in terms of sales. Although I think sales are doing fine.
Yeah.
Neon Knight Rider. Do you remember the time before Twitter when the Amazing Spider-Man letters pages were the space for all the rage in comics? Did you ever get letters printed? Share if so. I do, but I also remember when before Twitter, people shared their opinions on the superhero hype forums and other message boards and chat rooms and so forth. Before that, there was like AOL keyword room. Like, there was all manner of locales for people to share their opinions, strongly worded or otherwise, with each other before the letters pages. And I occasionally read the letters pages, but not quite often. I've submitted letters, but I've never gotten them printed, because for me, I've always my letters were always questions. They were always just like a list of questions, because I always wanted to know. What it turns out I wanted was just an interview with the person who wrote the damn book.
Right.
So if you want to see my letters and letters pages, watch any of my interviews with any of the creators that I've had on the show, because those are my letters pages. Bryce Harriet. Hi, I'm loving X-Men, Wonder Woman, and all the Flash. Yeah. Nice.
Excellent.
Those are 3 good choices.
Yeah. Good taste.
Johnny P. Just some support for my favorite 2 peeps on YouTube. Thanks, Johnny.
Yes, thank you.
Appreciate it. Bear Farmer. Afghanistan. I'm still laughing at Tiff's reaction. If you don't know what he's talking about, you should watch today's episode or yesterday's episode of The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly with Deadpool. Check it out. Hulkzilla. Godzilla has been in Marvel, Dark Horse, IDW, and now DC. I can't wait for his crossover with Image next. Godzilla destroys the Image universe. Would be great. I think
Spawn and Godzilla.
Honestly, the soonest the thing you'll see sooner than ever is Invincible versus Godzilla.
Oh yeah,
that's like a no-brainer. Spawn versus Godzilla will be hilarious. Like, want to know?
He's like, no, not like Mousetown.
Rat City. William Cobb, been rewatching your Elseworlds Exchange ranking streams with Joel, and would love to maybe one day see your takes on the various DC Marvel events, and love the shows. That'd be fun. I would love to rank all the DC Marvel events. Matthew Chalaga, can't catch the whole episode live, but just wanted to say how happy I was to get a Last Unicorn reference in the shorts. Glad to know you guys are also fans. Oh, yeah. No, thank you, Matthew. Thank you for generosity. I do love The Last Unicorn. I actually met and interviewed Peter S. Beagle about 10 years ago at New York Comic Con. It's public somewhere. You can find it. I think it's on the main channel. But yeah, thanks. And Heartless Fang, hey, you guys. Like I mentioned on Friday, I'd also be fun if you and Tiffany revisited the 1 to 2 episodes you made back in 2016, where you both did pitches and see how they stack up almost 8 years later. I would love to see that. Yeah.
What show is that?
Elseworlds Exchange, back in the day.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We're talking like 9 years ago.
Damn.
And Jamzilla, hey, ComicPop, I love you guys and what you do. I watch episodes of back issues practically every day now. There's so many. Thank you.
Wow.
That's true out there, folks. There's over 400 episodes of back issues. Check them all out. You got your wish. Here's
I did.
This book.
2024 has started strong for me.
Yeah.
Yes. How many people get to say after a series ended
got canceled
that technically it didn't? It just didn't get picked back up.
Mm-hmm.
That's how he put it.
Fair.
But that it returns and just keeps going with the story it was doing. But here we are in 2024. Sandman Universe, John Constantine, Hellblazer, Dead in America came out this week, written by Simon Spurrier or by Aaron Campbell. Yes, please, thank you. I want to see all the pages from this in person.
We may.
No, we won't. They're going to be gone.
They'll be gone.
They're so good. This is so good looking. This book is so good. This is so good. I don't know what. It's
good.
It's just so
the
good.
Goodest good that's ever good.
It's so good. I read it. Like typically I kind of read everything together. This one I read on its own.
Yeah.
This one got its own space and has been living in my head since reading it.
Yes.
picks right back up. We are in the U.S. This is like Spurrier going like, you can tell a Constantine story in the U.S.
I mean, I've seen it occasionally. I mean, usually he's in.
I'm just saying. I think the New 52
like
did that, and they didn't like. And like,
no,
it's
people
terrible,
did not respond to it.
But it's like he's like, no, you can do it.
Oh yeah, watch.
Yeah, just watch me do this. Damn, guys, I'm just saying, like, I literally don't have words for how delightful and enjoyable this issue was. I loved it from opening the cover to ending the book, and I literally can't wait for the next issue.
And that's only issue 1.
Issue 1 just proves that Cy Spurrier really has something to say about John. I think his run is going to be up there with many of the greats.
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh, you mean like Garth Ennis?
Yeah, I do. Would you relax? But I know his work is also not everyone's taste.
No, it's
but
true.
I think that he just really understands John being a terrible person.
Yeah.
And trying to be the best he can be, but typically failing at it.
Right. But it's easy to just assume, oh, he's a bad person. I think I got this. It's like no.
No, there's layers.
Yeah.
He's like an onion. It's a terrible onion.
Mm-hmm.
You're not sure what's in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Obviously, this book from the cover that we saw when it first came out promised a lot of things.
Yes.
It promised John looking like a zombie.
Yeah.
This is directly linked to the last volume.
Okay.
One of those double decker, English buses. Yeah, that's in there. Swamp Thing.
I didn't even notice him on the cover. Like I was like, he just blended right in with the smoke. I was like, oh, there he is.
Swamp Thing and a golf course. Technically, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
And Dream. Yes. This cover is not a lie.
Right.
Everything in this on this cover is in this book to some degree, in some way. There it is, right? This is smartly written. We're in America. They're escaping from the last volume, trying to avoid being arrested, having a Noah arrested. As we know, in the last volume, I'm like so afraid of spoiling anything, even though that volume came out.
It came out years ago, and also like it's not the end. There's more.
I know, but like it's a great reveal at the end of that volume.
Just say where he is now.
But I'm just saying, like, if you read this issue, you know where that is.
Right. Okay.
Like if you read this issue, there's no like it's yes. Like John has another thing to worry about now, and also is a very different state of being at this point. And enter Dream. Dream shows up, and I was like, I am so here for.
You're his like, I couldn't pick
arrival.
Another maybe one other.
Well, he wrote Sandman Universe.
Yeah,
like he wrote it for a while. Like he wrote the Dreaming. And like it was all about Daniel, and I struggled through that, but I still enjoyed that book. But I struggled through it just because I don't have a connection to Daniel. I just don't care about Daniel. Daniel sure does show up in this, and it's unbelievable. I mean, just from the initial like image you see of like a hitchhiker's thumb, this like ghostly white thumb that you're like, oh yeah, we know what's going on, right? To John recognizing that he's in a dream or like awake during it, and to him arriving. The treatment that Aaron Campbell has for the art, I could not come up with a better pull for if I wanted a Sandman book or to see Dream again, right? Because we watch as like John's like, I don't know, who are you? Like, I think I know who you are, but I don't know you, right? Because he never met him. He met the last Dream. Yeah. The two of them, because John had his bag of sand. Yes. He given it or had it taken from him, depending on how you want to look at it, by an ex-girlfriend. It's a really sad story.
Oh, yeah. No, people saw it on the in the show.
Yeah, in our show.
But it wasn't
show.
But it wasn't John.
Oh yeah. But it's a sad state of affairs. And you're like, that's the end of it. And apparently that's not the end. No. But in this, the way in which Dream, like Daniel reveals that he is Morpheus is spectacular, because he does. He like changes the way he looks, and the word bubbles change, and it's the original and I was like, yes. My brain is just falling out of my head. Right. This is happening. Wow. There is a page of this, everyone. I'm sure somebody's going to have snatched this up.
Right, but if it's available for sale, let me know.
I just want to see it. Yeah. I just want to see it. I want to see this piece by Campbell.
Let me know, though.
It's so spectacular. It's Morpheus being like, no, you lied to me, John. And basically Spurrier is he's going to make an adjustment. He's going to make a little caveat to what happened in that story. Sandman.
Right.
He's like, you said you never opened the bag. And John's like,
all right, so
okay.
Maybe I didn't maybe I did open it a little.
He's like, because the point is like, John's like, all right, yeah, I guess you figured out that if she could figure it out based on my notes, then I definitely figured out how to open it up. And he's like, I'm not going to give you a hard time about that. He's like, here's the problem though. I am still missing a few grains. Other people have taken them and I want you to get them back for me.
Oh.
And John's like, I don't really owe you anything. And he's just like, but I think you're going to do it anyway.
I'm Dream.
Well,
I'll ruin you.
But it's Daniel. He's a very different approach. And like John points that out, by the way. But
doesn't he like
look at this art?
Yeah, wow.
I just want to rip my face off. I can't even handle looking at it. But like eventually, John's seemingly going to go and do this while also working on this other issue that he has, like this looming threat, right?
Yeah.
I love this though, because it also reminds us too that John's state right now, without spoiling too much from like the last volume, is that John is seemingly not alive.
Right.
But he is still moving. Like he's still like, and he's like magic. Like it's just a few things keeping me going here. And Dream kind of knows that, and he shows them it. Look at this. Look at that.
Yeah.
Right. The idea of using Morpheus as like the boogeyman in a way, even though there's definitely nightmares in the realm of Dream, but like this treatment of like Daniel's like the kind face. He's the good cop, bad cop, right?
Yeah.
He's the good cop. He's like, hey,
right, but I am really Morpheus.
If you could help me. And then Morpheus shows up and he's like, he's scary, right? I freaking like, oh yeah, that.
Yeah.
This page. This page, right? Am I right? Oh my God. But like he's like, John has the moment where he's like, you're scarier than him. He's like, because like he was mopey and an old goth having a mid-eternity crisis. He's like, but you smile. He's like, nothing more dangerous than a bloke who thinks he's being nice while he waves you off to die. I was like Spurrier just completely altered my brain chemistry on Daniel Hall.
Yes.
Like just
like made you a fan.
Just made me go, oh. I don't get it.
Well, and I think maybe like nobody got it.
I don't care. Like, it's
but
just,
now it's completely changed your.
So excellent, right?
Yeah.
Another thing I want to point out: we're in America. They are in like I think the southern portion of America, and so Noah is driving the bus. I will give you a warning though. Noah is a person of color, and guess what happens? A cop sees him. He's just like. Inevitably, John like gets to the heart of it. He's just like, wait, do you know anything about like a warrant out for or anything like that? And he's like, no, I just saw a person of color driving this thing. And I thought,
I was like,
yeah, you know what? Spirit cutting right to it. Love it.
Yeah.
There is a specific moment in this. I love it because it is meta in a way where John goes, all right, Dredd. And I was like, that is perfection.
Yeah.
I'm like, on like so many levels. That like Dredd exists for Constantine as like a comic or a reference he can make.
Yep.
And Dredd being a send up of the American like justice system. And then calling this Southern I'm like,
Glenn Spurrier used to write Dredd stories.
Right. Like I'm just like,
yeah.
So this book was a 10 out of 10 for me. I need this at physical. I read it digitally because I just had to read it right away, and we don't really have a local shop anymore. We
not local enough.
And it was like not great weather for doing that type of thing. But
true.
yes. Anyway, I'm sorry. I don't mean to like gush, but like this. Like I knew I was gonna be excited. There was like maybe a grain of like, oh my God, what if it's not as good? What if like he is more bitter? What if it's changed? What if his tone has changed? And this like completely like exceeded my expectations.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Fair.
Constantine, #1, Dead in America. Just I'm telling you, nothing beat this for me this week.
That's fair. Would you nominate it for Book of the Week?
This is my Book of the Week. I'm not even going to hide this, guys. This is my Book of the Week.
I think that's fair.
This is like 2024 started so strong. I'm like, where could you go from here, comics? I don't even know.
Yeah.
Like, this was like everything I could have asked for.
Yeah.
And I can't believe we have it. Like, it's just such a, like, it's a treasure for me. This is a treasure because I shouldn't have it. It's like I got to peek into another universe where the book kept going.
Yeah.
And I brought it back.
But it did. Yeah. You brought it back with you. That's awesome. Hrishi Venkatesh, thanks for mentioning Gravity's Wall in Ram V interview. Best book I've read this year so far. Will we ever see Strange Adventures on the couch? Yeah.
We were just like, that's really weird you mentioned that. We were just literally talking about King books that we wanted to cover on the couch.
Yeah, it's true.
And that one came up.
Oh, yeah.
So
Dex Baker, is the Skybound universe a reboot, a fresh start? Yes, it is. It's a complete reboot. Josh Rowland, New Harbor Patrol. Johnson's Hulk is great. I've heard good things about Johnson's Hulk. Yes. Harbor Patrol, can't say. Nothing. No plans in the works just yet. Matthew Anderson, quick question: is Detective Comics worth picking up? I know Ram's time on the book is ending soon, and I'm wondering if I should wait for the trades. I would wait for the trades at this point, but the covers are phenomenal, and so it's like if you want that piece of art, you should get the individuals because those covers are just perfection. But yeah, I would wait because I think the book reads better in one sitting. Joshua Stevens, thanks for your generosity. Love y'all. Would you ever consider making another channel such as ComicPop Academia and do back issues like To Kill a Mockingbird or Heart of Darkness? Kind of kidding, but would watch anything you do. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. That'd be fun. I would love to do that. ComicPop Returns. This channel isn't doing very well, so I feel like I would be hard pressed to make another attempt at another channel and make more content. But for now, I'm happy with what we're making. This
channel's doing just fine.
Well, thank you. But you don't get to see the numbers. Samuel Summers.
Yes, I do.
I genuinely love the Fall of X books, and I think the Sink and Talon relationship is my favorite comic book relationship in a while.
Right? It's just a sweet relationship. We'll see where this goes now. I get what Sink is doing, but I'm also afraid of how it could taint their I get it, and I'm looking forward
to trouble. Yeah.
Trouble or just, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. Charzy, I'm sure I'm still harping on it, but do either of you have any costume ideas for an Ultimate DCU or favorite characters? No. I don't have any pitches for what they would look like.
No.
You want to see some alternate costumes? Take a look at my article from CBR where I talk about Ultimate Universe, or just Google Wizards Ultimate DC Comics. And Wizard hired an actual comic book artist to redesign them, and it's really fun.
I think I've seen that.
Oh yeah, no. There's a ton of different ideas. The Batman one is more you could see the Batman influence was like clearly Earth 1. Inspired. They wanted Morgan Freeman to be Commissioner Gordon in that universe. Superman, like if you drop
rose the yellow entirely.
Yep, it's more Kingdom Come inspired. In fact, we'll just take a minute and look at them. Fine. Why not? I'll just throw it on there.
There you go. Perfect.
All right, here's Superman. Again, it's just like take the Kingdom Come logo and get rid of all the other colors. It's just blue and red. I kind of love it. I don't know if I love the side stuff like the.
I could definitely see them going for more like bolder blocking of colors and just more streamlined. But I could also see them going with like incorporating more fashion.
Yes.
Like we saw with some of the Krakoa stuff.
But
like with Abigail Brand's outfit.
Oh yeah.
Like where they were just like, no, she is a fashion forward woman.
Yeah, but look at that collar. Look at that New 52 collar.
Oh yeah, there's a New 52 collar.
A long time before. Can I move? All right, fine. Can I do anything else with this? What the hell?
No, you're not. It's right there.
Oh, derp. All right, here we go. Wonder Woman. This one's like, meh. Flash is bizarre. Green Lantern is just John. And that was another thing. They were like, for John, it would just be like, or for Green Lantern, we would make John Stewart the main Green Lantern.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. That's something it's not an unpopular idea. But the interpretations are interesting. Here, let me take a look at this. Is Batman. A lot more tactical. It's less streamlined, less like fun. The logo is changed, but you can see the Earth 1 influence that this had on that.
It's really,
you can see his eyes.
It's funny. The lower half of it looks a little bit more like the video game.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Maybe not with the belt. There's a lot going on that belt.
That
belt looks like he found it from someone else's costume and put it on.
Green Lantern, just black and green.
I love it.
I kind of love it. You don't even see like any detailing for anything on the black part of the costume, which is pretty dope.
Yeah, I think it looks great. It's slick.
Yeah. The Flash. I'm not wild about this.
Not a fan.
I don't like the closed Spider-Man like mask.
I mean, it makes more sense. It would protect his face.
Exactly. But again, I'm not wild about it. But again, it also has that piping. Like there's that those little things. You see that influence.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman.
it's like it's a mixture of like too many armor styles for me. I think it's making it a little sloppy.
Yeah.
And I don't love that the lasso is like attached to her axe.
Yeah, that way she can like swing the axe around by like the furthest.
I guess. Yeah.
Well, it's like one end is death and the other one is truth or something.
The thing on the top, her tiara, very like Frank Miller inspired. It feels like.
Yeah, definitely. And that's it.
Yeah. How'd we get on that? Oh yeah.
What costumes?
What were our costumes?
Yeah.
But not those.
Not those.
Probably not those.
Yeah, probably not. And Harishi Venkatesh, as a proud Scouser, I adore John Constantine. Love that another misanthropic Liverpudlian has so much cultural legacy. Great to see Daniel too.
Yeah, I'm telling you, like this book completely changed my take on him.
Yeah. And AKA 480, hi, hope you both are well. Have you ever seen the J.M. DeMatteis Constantine movie? I love Matt Ryan as John, and Ryan's also a fan of Spurrier's book.
I don't think we have.
No, we've never watched it.
Okay. I was like, that does not. No.
Yeah. We did see DeMatteis' Spectre short.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Yeah. And it has nothing to do with like.
With preference.
Because I like DeMatteis. It literally had to do. I think there was just too many animated things, and there like came a point where like Sal had kind of gotten a little burnout from that, so we just kind of stopped watching them.
Yeah.
So hey, there's something for us to watch.
Yeah, that's true. We should. I mean, DeMatteis doing a Constantine book. Hell yeah. And finally, Avengers Twilight #1, Chip Zdarsky and Daniel Acuna. This is it's Dark Knight Returns, Spider-Man Reign for Captain America / the Avengers. The future sucks, and Spider-Man's dead. That's the name of the episode.
Yeah, I saw that.
And it's true. It's not a lie. In this book, both those things happen. Cap is it's the future. Captain America hates the future, but he's also well fed and comfortable. He's got a beautiful wife and a decent apartment and a legacy, and the Avengers are disbanded and the government's totalitarian and we're all well-paid slaves. It's very similar to like Dark Knight Strikes Again, where it's like, there's holographic technology and everybody's getting like paid and laid, but like our government is fascist and we're not happy, or we're deeply missing something. And Cap is like, they took my super soldier serum, and you're like, they took it? Like what?
Yeah, they filtered it out.
And I would have assumed that it's just like
coffee filter.
I would have assumed he just burned it out. Like we've seen that before.
They took it away.
They took it from him, and so it's like, okay, the Acuna art is fun and cool. It's it has this kind of like grit that you need, but also it makes you. The world around Steve is all, everyone's got like crazy costumes, so it's also evocative of Kingdom Come. But like maybe they're wearing, futuresque Google Glass augmentations. It's an idea of like everyone has either superpowers like Earth X, or it's like clear where they're wearing stuff that makes them imagine that they're in a more like positive reality than they are in. And Cap is unhappy, and he meets up with his friends like Matt Murdock and Luke Cage, and everyone's old and busted and tired. And Luke has a comment where he's like, "Oh, I keep busy," and you're like, "Oh, Luke's part of the Resistance." Okay, yeah, I get that. And Steve just has this like deep kind of like feeling of there's something wrong, there's something rotten with America, and so it's like, yeah. It's a kind of dystopian future Avenger story. I think it's better handled than the last Avenger story from Peter David, which takes this idea kind of and goes and runs with it. Something bad happened one day, like in the Avengers video game, or like in any dystopian
or at
future.
The beginning of Civil War.
Right, exactly. But like something bad happened and there aren't any superheroes anymore, or the government got outlawed, or the government outlawed superheroes.
Didn't you feel that influence though?
Yeah.
Like, because he's dealing with, I read this, by the
way.
Oh,
great. Okay.
I was just letting you explain it because that way everyone else got the benefit of it. Yeah. I read it too. I got the Civil War influence because of the inclusion of James Stark.
Yes.
I was like, being like a young, like, here's the thing. Initially, I was like, oh, we're doing an old versus young thing. No, we're not. We're not.
No.
We're not, because part of the Resistance is young. Like, no, it just has to do with like people like the government versus everyone else. Like,
Yes.
you know, I'm looking forward to seeing more of the reasoning behind what is happening. It has like a
Mhm.
little bit of a 1984
Yes.
flair to it. I assume Rosa is actually
Like a
like
sleeper agent.
Yeah,
Like Total Recall.
literally, I was trying to come up with the name of that, and I just couldn't do it
Yeah.
faster than
She's
Sal
Susan
could say it.
Sarandon.
That's
Or,
my life.
Sorry.
I just assume she's there to keep Steve
In line.
docile.
Yeah.
Because Steve really has accepted the fact that he's just like, the world has moved on and doesn't need a Captain America anymore.
Right.
Because like nobody's superheroing any longer. Like that's over.
Yeah.
Right. And people can't take photos of things. Like the government controls everything.
Yeah, you can't film, or it's funny. That's a fun little detail where it's like they took away your ability to film capture, you know, take record.
Anything
Anything
in public. Like,
Mhm.
you know, there's some kids skateboarding and they're just taking like video of that, and like they're literally gonna get arrested until like Steve steps in and then
Mhm.
gets his ass kicked. But he tries.
Yeah.
But I there was a lot to this. There's more to it than I thought I was going to enjoy. Like I was reading and I was like, all right, cool. Yeah, like it's Zdarsky. I know he's a competent writer, but I just wasn't sure if I was gonna really get into the world. And after like reading it and sitting with it for a while, I think there is something there.
There's something there.
I know there's a lot of influences. So I feel like part of the reason people might go like, I'm going to pass on this or I'm not interested in it is because it probably feels, at least in the first issue, like a lot of things you already know.
Definitely.
But I'm looking forward to seeing what Zdarsky wants to say, because I think he has something to say. This book has something to say.
I think so too. Yeah.
And I'm not prepared to go like, I know what he's trying to say.
No, I really don't.
I do think that Rosa
is a sleeper agent. Didn't occur to me.
That I think.
So that's fun.
Yeah, I was like, no, you're too good to be true.
I just thought I was like, I was like, that's weird that, like, you know, he has this very like young-ish wife, and that she, you know, it's weird.
No, I think,
but it's suspicious.
It's suspicious. Is what it is.
Exactly.
For sure. I really like that sequence with Peter. He's only in it for a hot second.
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously, like, there's a great moment where we flash back to, like, you know, the bad day that ruined everything, and Spider-Man died in it, which is why. And it's like, of course, like, because Spider-Man dies, like, it's like he's metaphorically like the death of the superhero, and like the you know, like the beginning of the dark times. A lot of, again, this is like the second book of this week that portrays Spider-Man better than the main series, but you know, it's nice. Yeah, I always like Steve and Pete interacting.
Well, I liked it too because, like, you know, Pete's obviously all he cares about is Aunt May and making sure, because like the idea here is that part of what causes H-Day. Yeah. Again, for me, it was very Civil War-ian because they do talk a lot about like the collateral damage from it. Yeah. Is that like the villains got like souped up,
their identity,
and they got their identity, so they're going after their families in order to lure the superheroes in. And so Spider-Man obviously wants to save May and essentially dies doing it. And like all he asks Cap to do is to take care of May. And he tries to tell him what his name is.
Yes.
And like Cap's like, you're Spider-Man.
No, you're not Peter. You're Spider-Man.
Yeah.
You're the best of us.
Yeah. And I was like, that is really, really good. But I was like, that's actually a pretty good pitch. Like, it's really understated. I have a feeling we're going to find out that the government leaked the information to them. Like somehow they had it. Like I'm building up this like deep, like seed of like conspiracy and corruption within the government.
I think that's a dynamite pitch. I'm down for that.
So that's where I think this might be going. But yeah, I kind of liked it.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be a little bit more, you know, cyberpunkian, but I don't think we have had a chance to really explore too much of it.
No.
So we'll see. But I did notice, like, in the background, a lot of people sporting like superhero-esque fashion, almost as though they're like taking it themselves and like normalizing it. But yeah, James Stark is a dick.
Oh yeah, but I think he's going to be the hero.
Like, he doesn't know.
No, he doesn't know any better. Yeah. I think we're going to see a big turn for James, but I'm excited to see the rest of the series. It's fun. It's competent. It's
I mean, it's fun in that way where it's like an interesting idea and like thought, like exercise. It's not fun necessarily in its subject matter.
No,
because it's like,
it's not fun to watch all your favorite heroes die.
Yeah,
but it's fun to see like an alternate future for the Marvel universe.
Oh, and Matt Murdock dies too. I know you shouldn't put that.
Matt dies off camera, so I'm like, no. Either he didn't die, or, you know, but I get killing Peter in this and giving him a moment, because it's like Spider-Man could overshadow the book, and the book is like the protagonist is Captain America, and especially because Chip's like, I have to kill Peter, otherwise I will accidentally help it. Yeah, otherwise I will accidentally make him the hero of the book, so I got to make him go away, and that's smart. Yeah, you know, especially because it's like same with Matt, like, you know,
I gotta kill him.
I gotta kill Matt, otherwise he'll take over. It's like I gotta kill all these really like prominent characters so that all I have left is Steve and say something about Steve Rogers.
Yeah.
But yeah, smart. It's fun.
Yeah.
Hrishi Venkatesh says, was in Nottingham, found a collection of all the Marvel Trouble books, original covers, so I bought it. Don't love the book, but I bought as a fun find.
Nice.
That is
historical record there.
Yeah. I'm sure Marvel would love to pulp every copy that exists. And also says, see the Scotty Young cover of Avengers Twilight.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah. But for now, let's recommend some comics.
What's your book of the week? We already know what mine is.
I mean, I know it's Hellblazer. I think Hellblazer.
But what's yours?
Out of all of them,
is it Hellblazer?
I think it's got to be Hellblazer. No, I think there are a lot of good books that came. I kind of liked most of the books that I read this week. I think it's got to be Wonder Woman.
Oh, not World's Finest or Superman.
World's Finest was a lot of fun. Yeah, it's tough because like World's Finest was great and fun. Wonder Woman was just like excellent. And Avengers Twilight was a lot of fun as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's tough. Yeah.
So it's Constantine. Great.
Yeah, I'll just say Hellblazer because it's just incredible. Because of its influence.
You didn't even read it. I just was so excited.
It's true. Yeah. Someone has been Amazing Spider-Man. Like I would read that book. I think
be nice about it though.
No, it's not your fault. It's just theirs. I mean, I'm not gonna give them their money. Yeah, I mean maybe Avengers Twilight, because it's just like it's a good effort.
Yeah.
Like this could have easily been a What If book, guys.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like this could have been a higher profile version of your What If brand that you asked Zdarsky to pioneer for you.
Yeah, but then it would just be his. I could imagine him being like, "No, I'm not the only person writing high profile What If books."
Oh, I know. No, that's exactly what happened. He was like, "No, I'm not going to be the only one who does it."
Fair.
Plus, Marvel's like, "Well, we have this ugly old logo from the '90s we're going to recover." But anyway, yeah, Avengers Twilight.
Okay.
Just take it away from DC. But yeah, let's recommend some comics that are coming out this week that we think you should check out. Ghost Machine #1 is dropping from Johns and Tomasi and Ivan Rice and Francis Manipul and Brian Hitch and Gary Frank and Jason Fabok.
Oh, wow. For some reason, I thought this was already out.
That's because we had like an ash can.
Yeah, okay. That's exactly why.
That's dropping. I'm going to take a look at this and see what the hell all the hubbub is about. Punisher #3 from David Pepose and Rod Rice is out or is coming out. Yeah, it's I've read it, so I don't want to spoil anything, but fun surprises and reveals in this issue. The Penguin #5. Maybe I'll finally read the last 6. Maybe I'll read the last 5 issues finally.
You've read at least 1.
I've read 2 issues of this series. Maybe 4.
You've read 2/3 of this series.
Wow. And Green Arrow #8. Green Arrow #8. Josh Williamson and Phil Hester back to see the return of Onomatopoeia. Hooray! Good use of that character. Great use of Phil Hester. And Green Arrow is a fun series that I hope people are reading. I think enough people are reading it because the series is in an ongoing status as opposed to a mini.
Excellent.
Like it had been originally.
I noticed someone asked you about what Cobra Commander wasn't the book of the week for you.
No, what?
Are you sure?
I liked it well enough, but not enough to be like, oh, give me more Cobra Commander. It's like, all right, it's cool.
To hell with those who call for less Cobra
right.
Commander. Okay. What?
Right.
A couple things that are coming out. I'm sure I'm going to pull a few more as we go along here. But Hexagon Bridge #5.
Yay.
Richard Blake. I love this book. It's so great looking. Yeah, art. Yay.
Yeah.
X-Force #48 is coming out this week. We're back to Beast.
Great.
I'm fine with this.
I'm so glad that Wolverine
ready.
is being commandeered by Sabretooth so that we can't focus on the Wolverine Beast.
Doesn't mean he can't be in this.
That's true. Wolverine's in every book.
We'll see. Ben Percy will make it work. I don't know.
He's writing both of them.
Gods #4 is coming out this week. Hickman, Skeety. Yes, please.
Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange. These are
He's been in every issue, hasn't he?
Yes.
I think so.
Resurrection of Magneto #1. Here we go.
Al Ewing. Oh, yeah. Now it matters.
Yeah, Ewing's gonna. Well, I mean, it didn't matter no matter what. And Ewing writing it, Vecchio on art.
Ooh.
This is the thing he didn't want. There's no protocols anymore. How are they going to do this? I don't know. Let's find out. This is the epic conclusion. As the epic conclusion to the Krakoan age looms.
Mm-hmm. Look at him wearing his Jim Lee costume.
Yeah. Well, who knows what version they're going to bring back?
Oh my god!
Right? I don't know. We're going to find out. We're going to find out together.
You don't need
everybody.
like to get an old version of Magneto. You just need to push him in one direction and be like, okay, I'm back to being a bad guy again. Ho ho!
We're like, wait, don't be a bad guy yet. Hang on. We got to solve these other problems first. Then
that's right.
Then we'll talk about you being a bad guy. I guess we're not going to talk about it. You're just going to do it necessarily.
That's what I do, baby.
Okay.
That's
sure.
why I'm Magneto.
But yeah, those are a few of the books that I'm going to be grabbing this week, and I'm excited to do so.
Yeah. We should also mention that Titan's Beast World Tour Star City is also out tomorrow. So check that out as well.
Oh, there it is.
I believe. Right. Yeah. Check that out. Otherwise... yeah, we want to thank you so much for hanging out with us. Thank you to our super chats for sponsoring today's show. Thank you to our viewers.
That's what they'll be: the Tree Frog, Green
Tree
Lantern,
Frog, Green Lantern, Alligator Flash.
Flash.
Okay, there you go. So you got to pick that up if you want to know what's going on. If you don't want to miss out. But we want to thank you all so much for watching the show, and of course for sponsoring today's show by super chatting or by just being civil in the comments and chat. We do appreciate you being here and populating the show, making it what it is today. If you haven't already, you should check out the latest episode of The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly and watch our commentation on Deadpool first issues. Fun issue. Happy to see that series return.
Yeah, it was a good episode.
Yeah, I think it's a good episode. Thank you for corroborating. I'm also looking forward to seeing more. I got another whole theme ready to go. But
still telling you, we should have done that. Like, the fireball, like Pitbull's fireball came back around again.
Yes,
everyone was like, "Oh, remember that?" People are using it for bringing things back. I'm like, we totally should have done a social media post like that.
No, I agree.
With like Ben, like,
yeah.
But we didn't, so now it's over. Anyway,
well, and so's the trend. But we'll see you guys next time. Don't forget to check out Tiffany on twitch.tv/ComicPop. We do apologize, but you will not be streaming on Wednesday this week because you need to shoot back issues with us.
Yes.
So that's going to be fun. But you will be there, I think, tomorrow, correct?
Yes.
Man, let me tell you a little teaser for more on this channel and the other channels. Of course, if you haven't already checked out ComicPop Plays on YouTube and Twitch, you should. Twitch.tv/ComicPop, but youtube.com/@ComicPop Plays. Check those out.
Yeah.
Watch Tiffany streams.
Yeah.
Jedi, whatever the fuck, is out. You're playing Jedi Survivor.
Yes.
On that, and God of War Ragnarok on the other.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to be talking to a number of different creators in the next week.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be like an influx of interviews that are going to be dropping very quickly.
Yes.
Some of whom you've never seen on this channel. Some of whom you may not have seen in this channel for almost 10 years. Who knows?
Wow.
So keep an eye out for that. I'm shooting one tomorrow. I'm shooting another one on Thursday. I think maybe 2 this Thursday. It's going to be a nightmare. It's like so much I need to be prepared for. But keep an eye out for that. And we'll see you guys later. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody.
Bye.